Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale Series. Is it good? Yeah. In this game you play as the Guardians of the Galaxy. If you've played a Telltale game before, you'll know what to expect. It's a point-and-click style adventure game with 5 episodes to play. Firstly, the story was great. It had lots of high stakes and great plot moments. There was even some good villains, and the game was full of surprises. The Guardians look pretty much how they did in the first film, but none of the actors from the films are in this game, which is to be expected. However, the voice actors did an amazing job. Peter Quill sounds just like a younger version of Chris Pratt's Star-Lord, and then there's Rocket Raccoon, who sounded exactly like Rocket in the films. After the first 10 minutes, I was used to the voices and the acting was great. There's lots of dialogue in this game, and there's even more optional dialogue. I exhausted all the dialogue options every time because I really enjoyed interacting with the Guardians. Something I did not expect in this game, despite it being a big part of the films, was licensed music. It starts off pretty early with the licensed music, and it was great to hear while playing the game. While there wasn't loads, there was enough to really feel like this was a Guardians of the Galaxy adventure. Though I will add, most of the episodes are named after famous songs, but none of these songs are featured in the game, which I found quite weird. The graphics are surprisingly good for an Xbox One Telltale game, and it looks very good up close. But when the game zooms out, there's aliasing everywhere, which does date it quite a bit. The game does still have some of Telltale's flaws though, like characters having weird facial animations and having an emotional delay. For example, say someone says something shocking, they'll say it, 5 seconds later, the other person will react with a weird face. This game also doesn't have very good lip sync, but that's to be expected with a Telltale game. I often talk about the illusion of choice when it comes to Telltale games, but there was no huge choices to make, and a couple that I did make really didn't matter or change anything. It's the same old. Choose to save somebody, well, they're going to die later on, so don't worry about it too much. You can no longer compare what percentage of people chose the same decisions as you, as the servers are no longer online. I had a huge bug in this game that took nearly over an hour and 5 replays of the same chapter to fix. The first time, mid-conversation, all the characters just stood up and T-posed and I could no longer interact with them. After a reboot and replaying the same section, there was supposed to be a fight that breaks out shortly after talking to all the Guardians, but this kept not triggering and nobody would let me talk to them. Luckily, it did trigger on my 5th reboot as I was close to giving up and just deleting the game. In order to fix the bug, I did try selecting different choices every time. That was Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale Series, and I give it a 6 out of 10.